Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So, today, I created this look using a full face of makeup that I have been hoarding. What I mean by that is, for some reason, I buy a lot of makeup and I put it to the side and tell myself I'm gonna use it for a certain occasion. And I just said, you know what? I'm using it all today. I'm just gonna do it. So there were a lot of things that I was not really loving. There were a few things that I do really like. So you're gonna have to just stick around to see what my thoughts were on all these products. Hang tight, it's coming. So I have a problem. I do this thing where I buy a lot of makeup and I hoard it. I put it in a box. I don't unwrap it, I don't swatch it, I don't touch it. And I save it for a special time, whatever that time in my mind is. I mean, it's not really a specific thing. And today, the time has come. There is not a special time. There is nothing going on that I have to get ready for. So I want to use all the makeup that I've been hoarding. Do you guys see this? This is disgusting. Atrocious. So we're gonna test it all out and just see what happens. Okay, we're gonna start with the eyes. I've already primed my eyes and you guys would not believe how many eye products are in front of me right now. So I've got 4 different eyeshadow palettes. Yes, 4 that I have not used, that I've just got here. So I've got the Boudoir Noir palette from ColourPop. I heard people talking about it, how beautiful it was, and it was on sale at Ulta, so I said, I'm just gonna do it. Absolutely beautiful packaging. It's embossed with this gold writing, and the color scheme looks really pretty. Looks like your typical neutral with some pops of green and yellow. I'm down with that color scheme, so I'm thinking about using that one. I also have the Alamar Cosmetics Spanglish palette. I've been wanting to buy this palette for a really, really long time, and I've just held off on it, and I've held off on it. So I finally just bit the bullet. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Pinks and purples, oh my goodness. And then I have this, I actually got this for Christmas from my boyfriend's sister, and I've never used it before, and I've never even heard of this brand before. This is from Moira. And this is the A Dash of Gold palette. This palette actually looks really beautiful. Again, really up my alley in terms of color scheme, browns, golds, some reds. Love that. So I'm thinking about that. And then I also have the entire At Foresight Raw Beauty Kristi x ColourPop collection. I have all the Super Shocks, I have the eye pencils, and I have the eye palette. So I don't think I'm gonna use this one today. I think I'm gonna save this one for another time. And I think I'm actually going to use the Boudoir Noir from ColourPop today. So that is what we're gonna do. I might dip into maybe one of these other ones too, but maybe not. No, no. Okay, and then I also have a couple of these No Budge shadow sticks from e.l.f., which I love. I love these. So I have this one in Champagne Crystal, and I have this one in Metallic Mocha. So I might dip into one of those as well. Those are really good for one and done eyeshadow looks where you can just kind of draw it all over your eyelid, blend it out, and you're good to go. I am going to do a look with this palette. So let me get fluffy brush. I'm going to start with the color Melt. I'm just gonna put that in my crease. Okay, next I'm gonna take this kind of pukey, baby poo, brownish yellow color called Desire. It's appropriate. And I'm gonna pop that just a little bit lower in my crease. One thing that's kind of disappointing about this palette is that it has a pressed glitter. I will never ever use a pressed glitter. I'm too scared. I'm too scared it's gonna get in my eye and ruin my already crappy vision, so that's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna take this green color over here called Late Text. I'm gonna pop that just in my outer corner. very, very powdery shadows. Like when you put your brush in, there's a lot of kickback, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but just be aware. I'm gonna take the darkest color. It's like a super dark green color called Hot Toddy. I'm gonna put that on my outer corner. Okay, and pro tip, I always put down the NYX Pigment Primer on my lid before I do any metallic shadows. I feel like it, A, makes them look so much more vibrant, and B, helps them to adhere to my lid and last longer. I honestly don't ever put on a metallic shadow without it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on my ring finger and pat it onto my lid. I'm gonna take the color Body Language, which is this like taupe brown metallic. I'm gonna place that. Okay, this was pretty. I mean, was it anything life-changing? Not really. But I do think the colors in here are definitely unique. I don't think I have really any palette with this exact color scheme, so that's kind of hard to do nowadays. They performed okay, like they weren't amazing, but they were good. And I like that it has a big giant mirror in it. It's good for, you know, getting real up close and personal like I do. So I like that. Okay, now I've got the Super Precise eyeliner from Essence. So this was like $3 or something at the drugstore, and I did a video on my channel maybe a month ago using a full face of Essence, and I did not use this one because I had actually bought another eyeliner that I used, so I'm excited to try this. I've heard it's really good. So it's a brush tip, which is not my favorite, and I don't love these ones where you have to keep dipping back and forth like an inkwell, you know, like a feather. Like a feather? A plume? You know what I'm talking about. But let's try it. Let's try it. I'm gonna try to at least create one solid line. I'm gonna try a wing, but let's start with the line first. Okay, so that was okay. It wasn't like the easiest thing in the world to use, but I'm gonna try a wing. I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna try it. I gotta get real close to my mirror. Okay, it wasn't that bad. If you're a beginner to winged eyeliner, in my opinion, it's not the best type of applicator. Like, I much prefer a pen form with a felt tip. I just feel like it's so much more precise. And most of all, I feel like because all of the ink is in the actual pen, it distributes the product evenly and continuously. Where with this, you have to keep like dipping in, coming out. Do I hate it? No, actually it's fine. It's definitely drying on the matte side. Okay, so I don't have any new mascara or, yeah, mascara. I don't have any new mascara, so I'm going to apply mascara and I'll be right back. Okie dokie, let's move on. Okay, so I've got some complexion products to play with today. This I'm super excited about. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I've heard people rave about this. I'm really excited. It's a primer and moisturizer in one. And when I do prime my face, I don't always prime my face, but when I do, I definitely prefer a moisturizing primer. I don't love pore filling primers. And this came in a set of like 3 mini primers, but I really bought it for this, right? Like, why didn't I just buy this on its own? I don't know, but here we are. So I'm gonna just take 1 pump of that, maybe 2 pumps of that. Whoa. Very liquidy. Feels very nice. Take a 3rd pump onto my forehead. Well, it definitely feels moisturizing. Just gonna let that sink in, do its thing, just for 30 seconds or so. Okay, and now I have a new foundation to try out. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. So I have to admit, I have used this once already. I don't really remember my thoughts. I remember the color being a little light on me. This is the color 160C. I bought it online, so I kind of tried to shade match myself as best as I could. And I'm going to use a new sponge today. So I bought a few of these sponges from the DSMD shop. She makes the coolest sponges. Me and my boyfriend actually does product photography, and we actually shot a photo with this sponge because when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, it reminds me of mint chocolate chip, right? Looks so yummy. So we actually did a photo, I'll put up on the screen so you can see it, of this sponge with some chocolate, and it was really cool. But I've heard a lot of good things about her sponge. It's very, very soft, and it's huge. Like it got really, really big when I wet it. So I'm going to just pick this up and I'm gonna start to apply it. It's a little light, but it's not bad. We'll go with it. I mean, right away, obviously it hasn't like set or anything. And it's a luminous foundation, so I don't know how much it's actually going to set. But it definitely is emphasizing like pores and texture. It's kind of grabbing a little weird on me. So that's my face with this side with the foundation. And this side without. So I would say the color match is okay. Actually, it's not that light, but it's definitely emphasizing like pores, texture. Right off the bat, it's not like one of my favorites. So I'm just gonna put that on my other side of my face and I'll be right back. Okay, and now we have a new concealer to try out, which for me is the scariest part always. If you didn't notice, I have like really dark circles, so I'm very picky about my concealers. I really only exclusively use Tarte Shape Tape because I feel like it's the only thing that covers up my dark circles and stays put without creasing or moving. But I'm always willing to try out new things. And I saw these at Target and they were like literally less than $3. So I was like, even if they suck, you know, I've only been out $5, $6. So I got the Revlon Candid Concealer. I've heard really good things about this as well. I got the two shades 05 Fair and 015 Light. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but this one looks extremely yellow and this one looks extremely pink. So I thought I'd buy them and see if I need to mix them or what. So I don't know if you can tell, one's very pink, one's very yellow. What happens if I mix them? Screw it, I'm gonna mix them. Very like watery consistency, which truth be told is not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm not judging too harshly yet. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's definitely not full coverage. Like you can most definitely still see the darkness underneath. I am going to try to build it up just in that area. Now, sometimes when I try to do this, it picks up product underneath. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm just gonna basically put it right in that hollowness. Okay, so it didn't remove the product underneath, but I don't really think it built up any more coverage. Just from the actual like formula, it is a very, very like watery formula, almost like you can see through it type of thing, where more full coverage concealers are definitely like a thicker, creamier texture. So it's not for me, but I would say like if you don't have very dark circles or you don't have very much that you need to cover, or you prefer like a light to medium coverage, this is like right away, it looks all right. I'm just gonna set the concealer down.
A few moments later.
Okay, I got a little powder happy. I just went ahead and set my whole face just to see how this foundation would look set. It already looks better. Like I feel like it's a little bit more blurred-ish. And I used the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop setting powder. I did a full face of NYX recently. I will link it in the description box below where I discovered this. And every time I read this, I think of Miley Cyrus. I start singing that song in my head. You know what song I'm talking about. I like this powder a lot, but it definitely is on the matte side. Okay, I also bronzed with the NYX Matte Bronzer, which I used in that NYX video. I've actually been liking this bronzer. At first, I wasn't sure about it because it looks a little pink in the pan, but on my face, I actually really like it. Okay, now we're gonna go to highlighter and blush. So I have a new highlighter to use from e.l.f. This is the Highlighting Holographic Duo in Siren's Call. So we've got like a orangey coral side. We've got a white side, where it's like a yellowy gold white almost. They're really pretty. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna mix them together. Yeah, I'm gonna mix them together. Just on a small, fluffy highlighting brush, I'm gonna mix them together. Bing, 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 tap, 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 tap. Okay, well I can see the orange one, so I don't like that. It left like an orange stripe on my face. So I'm just gonna take the white one. It's pretty. All right, and then I picked up a new shade of the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush. This is in the shade Always Punchy. I love these blushes. I have quite a few of them actually. I just feel like they give the most beautiful matte color to your cheeks. They last a really long time, they blend really well, and they're very affordable. Very, very affordable, very beautiful. And one of these is gonna last me forever and a day because it's so much product and you don't need that much. They're very pigmented. So this is like a bright pink. Ooh, so pretty. Just gonna take a fluffy blush brush. Girl, that freaking foundation looks disgusting on my skin. It's looking like so dry and crusty and like clinging to spots on me. Ooh, I went a little crazy with the blush on that side. I have to even it out. It's looking very 80s over here. Look at this. But that's okay, blush fades. Right? Yeah, blush fades, so it'll fade. I'm gonna do my brows really quick. I'll be right back. If only it were that easy, huh? Okay, we're gonna finish up the lower lash line. I'm going to actually use one of the cream gel liners from ColourPop, from the Beauty Kristi and ColourPop collab. This is in the shade Woodsy, and it's this warm brown. I love their eye pencils. I think they're super creamy, super easy to use. I'm gonna go back into the eyeshadow palette. So I also got a set of brushes when I bought that Alamar Cosmetics palette. It didn't come with, I bought them. But with the collection, they released 3 eyeshadow brushes. And I have a lot of their eyeshadow brushes and I love them. So these are these 3 kind of detailed eyeshadow brushes. I'm gonna take the Crease Control brush. This is an interesting, really interesting shaped brush. It's like super skinny, but like a fan brush, basically like a small fan brush. I'm gonna go back in the palette. I'm gonna take the deepest green called Hot Toddy. I'm gonna put that right underneath. Okay, and then I'm gonna take like the smaller, tiny little fluffy, detailed diffuser brush. And I'm gonna go in with that pukey, poopy, baby poop, yellowy brown, Desire. I'm just gonna place that right underneath where I put that green. All right, and I am gonna take this e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick, and this is in the shade Champagne Crystal, and I'm actually gonna place this as my inner corner highlight, and I might layer on top one of the shades from the palette, but this is like a really good way to secure the shadow. Again, like placing it on top of a stickier base like this is gonna allow it to stick longer. This doesn't really have like a super bright inner corner highlight, so I'm gonna take like my go-to inner corner highlight, which is the single shadow from Urban Decay in Midnight Cowboy. Just place that on top of where I placed that shadow stick. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face. I don't have a new setting spray, so I'm just gonna use the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I've only used it a few times. I'm not sure my feelings on it yet, so I'm not going to say anything about it yet. Okay, listen. I have the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss in the shade Fenty Glow. I have used this once before. Spoiler alert, I love it. I love the regular Fenty Gloss Bomb, which if you've been here before, you know that. But I love this too! I'm going to line my lips with the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner in the shade Keep It Spicy. Okay. Here we go. I don't really smell a scent. I've heard people say they think it smells good, but I don't smell anything. Oh my goodness, yes. Is that not just beautiful? Oh yeah. That's all I have to say, I love it. All right, you guys, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it's good. I mean, there were a lot of products that I was just kind of like, meh about, you know? There was nothing that really blew me out of the water besides the Fenty Gloss Bomb Cream. This is probably the winner of the show. My top like 3 things I would say are the Gloss Bomb, these blushes from e.l.f. I love. Like, look how pigmented that is. But it's just like so smooth on the skin. So I would say also these blushes and these sponges from DSMD Shop. Like, this is such a nice soft sponge. Love the color, love the shape, and they're $6. I mean, that's crazy. And then the bottom 3, I'm gonna say the foundation. Like, right away looking at it, it looks like I'm wearing makeup, you know? I want it to look very skin-like, and I just feel like this is sitting like on top of my skin really weird, and it's like sitting around my nose really weird. It's just not for me. Like, if you've got perfect skin and you're, you know, 10 years younger than me, probably would look good on you, but not on me. So I'm gonna say that's a no for me. Also, the concealers were a no for me. Just again, for my personal preference, I want something much more full coverage. Everything else was kind of just like, to me, so. You know what? I'm really glad I finally got to use these products. I don't know what I was saving them for. Does anybody else do that, or am I crazy? But that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you to pick up some of your makeup that you've been putting off using. And if you have any other ideas for videos, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you'd like to see from me. All right? Thank you so much. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.